Tonight, while we're all here and live with a few mics off, guys, welcome Alex Ponce right there in the wherever he is in your screen. Give him a round of applause, even if it's silent claps.
Thanks, guys.
I asked Alex. Oh, look at all the applauding! Look at that. That's cool. If you're looking back on the grid thing there, it's kind of cool. You can see everybody clapping. That's pretty awesome. So Alex, I asked to come on board to really kind of help with social media posting and designing specifically for social media. It's an ever-changing art. It's one of those things where like we are all learning as we go with it. And particularly in his case, I thought it'd be a good time to not only go over, forgive me as I'm admitting people in, hold on for a second, to introduce and let him do a 30-minute challenge for you guys. We were trying to think of the best way to do it. I think maybe doing it live while we're all here on Zoom might not be the best way to do it. So we're going to do the honor system and give you guys the assets. They're sent to you by email. And what you'll do is we'll go over some tips and tricks on it tonight with his notes. And then you guys can have as much time. We'll probably maybe come back. Maybe what we'll do is like we could do a Friday session or whenever. I'll just have you guys submit it in, and then Alex will rejoin us at one time and we'll go over them and look at them and see how everybody did. So he's going to go through that tonight, and then we'll go right into critiquing the stuff that's in Canvas for now. Okay. Any questions before we get going regarding, we'll talk more as a class later, but any questions for now from anybody?
You guys could always hit me with questions throughout the
and I'll be checking it out on the chat as well, and I'll drop them in. So are you ready to go? Alex,
I'm good. You guys good?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, they're ready. Trust me.
Yes.
I'm gonna share my screen here.
Go
How's
for it,
everybody doing?
Good.
Well, Nick, you said disabled attendee screen sharing.
What?
You're not even allowing me to share my screen?
Oh my goodness gracious. What did I do wrong? How do I do that? Let's see. Let's see. Mute. Should I just mute him for now? Oh, make co-host. There we go. All right.
That's not cool.
How'd that work?
Ooh, I'm co-host now.
There you go. Don't let this go to your head.
Can you guys see my screen?
There we go.
Yep.
Cool. So, I mean, come on, we're all I was a student once. You guys are all students. Who doesn't use social media?
Pretty much nobody.
Right.
This
exactly. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone uses social media. So I put together this little deck, strategic for social media. You know, like Nick said, it's always changing. Sometimes the message changes. Sometimes the product change. I work in the beer industry. I designed for Stone back in the day, and I work for the brewery in Orange County, California. But to give you a little background, born and raised down here in Southern California, if you guys don't know who I am. I specialize in branding and packaging design. I've designed over 200 beer labels. I try to keep my work with purpose, crafted with purpose and precision. Here's some clients I've worked with. I was actually in-house designer at Taco Bell. I've worked for a couple different breweries, Stone. I actually, ironically enough, or not ironically, just weird timing, I did work with the World Health Organization at one point. So that was kind of cool. But, some Taco Bell work, some Sergeant Pepperoni work, which is a local in Orange County pizzeria. It's like third generation. Here's my brewery work I've been recently working on. This one actually just came out not too long ago. But me loving beer, I'm sure Nick has prefaced that. Here's some logo stuff I've done, some of my design style and everything. If you guys obviously don't know who I am, but strategic designs for social media. In this case, for beer. Beer is all over social media. That's one way to market the liquid. At the end of the day, we have to get liquid to lips. That's what I kind of go by. But there's different styles of social media when it comes to selling the beer. Recently, with everything going to go beer sales with, the coronavirus going around, sadly enough, my job included, or my company included, We've actually had to alter things and present designs through social media and letting everyone know, including our fans, that, hey, we could ship beer to you. We're now selling online crowlers, which are those big 32-ounce cans. And then I threw in another one from Black Tuesday, which is one of our biggest events every year. So this is the first style, which is graphic text overlay. I'm sure you guys have seen it from some of your favorite brands, even maybe from, Saga or CSUN. A lot of places do it. But when it comes to this style, we try to get the hierarchy and the message out quick, as in, we're shipping beer to you from that first graphic. We know, you guys know that now selling online crowlers from that second graphic. The third one's a little different because it's just announcing Black Tuesday, the tour. And if you want to get in deeper detail, obviously the dates and everything could be reestablished in the caption. You don't have to use imagery when it comes to this. The last image, the Black Tuesday example, has no photo. The other ones do, just because that's kind of something, that's the style that I've implemented at the brewery, being the design lead. But like I said, you could tell more in the caption.
I got a question.
Second stop. Question.
Yeah. This is my question, not from them yet. Go back one up, or the previous slide. So any tips or kind of tricks when you are fading back a picture for the text to be still readable and legible? Any tips with the picture, darkening it or changing it to make sure it's still relevant? You can still figure out what it is.
I always try to do the contrasting color. So one of our main brand colors at the brewery is this like off-white cream color.
Yeah.
And that's what we tend to use. And so I knew I wanted to create this style with photography and to bring that light color text in, and even the icons in the top left corner. I knew I was just going to create a black overlay. So I literally just created a new layer over the photo, did a full complete flood black, and I brought it down to like 30% opacity.
Gotcha.
You're done. And if there's any spots where you actually need like some like darker work behind the text, I would just do another one and just brush slightly over it.
Cool.
But that was a good question. Not some photos actually may need it more than others.
Cool.
Second style is obviously photography. Instagram being the main social media driver nowadays. If we don't catch your attention with the photo and how, in this case, how the appetizing the beer can be, how refreshing it can be, or even this first image showing that it's an oatmeal cookie beer. So we actually presented oatmeal cookies around the can. These are all shots that I've taken recently, actually, because of the coronavirus. That's like my backyard. That's the full area, my townhome complex. So in this case, the image drives the beer. Any secondary things will probably be in the caption, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
What about if you're sticking solely to iPhone or mobile camera? What kind of tips and tricks in shooting? Because a lot of times too, like for students, that's probably the first thing they're going to do if it's something by them for a project. Any apps or things that
You're breaking up a little, Nick.
Any apps or anything you would recommend to be a good resource or tips when it comes to photo editing on your phone?
Photo editing, I think, if you, obviously a lot of us have Adobe Creative Cloud. I use Lightroom Mobile for quick and easy stuff. Obviously you can't go down and dirty with certain things, but a small little adjustment filter, maybe even like a little vignette goes a long way. But actually taking the photo, if you're trying to hero the product, as in like this third photo, obviously these were all taken with a Canon, but that third photo, if you really wanted to grab that heroic perspective of the glass, I'm going to grab my phone really quick.
Yeah.
A little trick that I learned recently, whether it's, a beer glass, an item, a product of anything. So normally we take our photos like this, right? Camera up here. Obviously the camera is on the top half of the phone, but if you flip it, now you could go upwards with the heroic presentable, like things are going to be looking larger, things are going to fill out the frame more. But don't worry, like once the phone will know, once you take the photo, it'll flip it for you, or you can just rotate it. Yeah. But it's a good heroic thing.
And you can get that forced perspective, like shooting straight up when you flip the phone around. Yeah, cool.
For sure. if the photo needs that aspect. Any questions on the photography aspect?
Let's see. I didn't check that. Where's that chat window? I know it's here somewhere. I think we're good. Oh, do you ever take your own photos, or do they provide? Oh, or do they provide it for you? So a little bit of both, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So my role at the brewery is design lead. I typically do majority of the design stuff, but I creative direct and art direct a little bit for the content specialist, which typically is her job to create all the photos. But ironically, she was out of town these past 2 weeks, so I've actually been home and shelter and trying to find ways to shoot beer around my house. So if you go to the brewery Instagram account, a lot of recent photos are either my doorstep, my counter, the kitchen counter, places around where I live. But it's
amazing
really
how creative you can get, especially when you can blur a lot in the background now.
I've had to.
Hey, could you talk a little bit about the brewery logo itself? I think a few people are asking about, is it a font? Was it hand done? The history of it? Anything cool about it?
Oh yeah. So originally we actually just went through a brand like facelift. So if you see a brewery logo, let's see here. I'm going to go here. Brewery logo. So this is actually an old logo, as you could tell.
Yeah, you can see a big difference there for sure.
Whoa. What happened?
There you go.
So it was very script. It was all connected. It was very hard to read, especially on a bottle label. It went it got very small.
Because of the thick and thins, right?
The thick and thins. Yeah. So that was the original from 2008. Brewery was founded in 2008. And then recently, right when I got on, we kind of deconstructed it into more of just a script-like serif.
Yeah.
You know, it still has the same characteristics. It still has a swirling Y. And the reason why brewery is spelled that way, our founder's last name is Rue, R-U-E. So we make beer. It's a brewery. Perfect. Play on words.
So was it, I'm assuming it's a complete custom hand done.
Correct. So cool. The original was completely hand done and, vectorized for us. And then I had little help on recreating it. I wasn't the main designer for it, but I was brought on during that transition.
Cool. I think you guys can see it's a perfect evolution. It's like a refresh where it didn't really need to be rebranded, but it just needed to help be better communicative in a lot of different applications for sure.
A lot of applications for sure.
Cool.
Okay, let me move that back over here. And then we actually have the last style that I want to try on, and there's many other styles, is actually mixed, creating both, bringing in design and aspects of that nature with photography. Yeah. And so what I like to do actually, and I've seen some people do it, and a lot of people are actually a lot better at it than I am, but I try to do it when the right application is. But these little white bars indicate, because you have multi-image posts now where you just carousel through. So these little white bars indicate a carousel where on Instagram, you just keep swiping. So it will flow fluidly from my hands holding those hops into a can rendering, into my hands holding barley, to someone brewing the beer, telling that story.
Yeah.
From slide 1 to slide 3. Another example, which is one I just actually launched last week, which is, they're pulling the beer out of this barrel. I brought in some assets from the can design that I did, kind of transitioning and showing hey, there's another image here. Swipe more to see more, or swipe over to see more. And then I brought it in with, here's the final packaging. It's a collaboration with Microphone Brewing, that mixed media kind of style.
Cool. I think there's also a cool way to hint that the art is continuing past the edge, so the viewer knows to slide almost by nature, rather than having to put 3 arrows going slide.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
The caption, some people will caption right in the beginning, say swipe, and has a little arrow emoji.
Yes,
I try not to showcase that when it's one of those things, if but obviously if I'm hinting at design work here, there's got to be more. That's just looks misplaced if I cut the image in one photo.
I'm assuming too, when this would be good info for all of us, but when you do stuff like this, do you guys look at analytics? Does a post get maybe more engagement if there are some sliding features like this?
Yes. So actually, it's great point. I'm bringing that up. A lot of our when beer is like getting ready to be released, our main driver that gets the most like exposure and everything is the beer package when it's not a rendering where it's the final photo and everything with the beer and the adjuncts that go into it. So in this case, it's oatmeal cookies. There's cacao. There's cherries. There's raspberries. When we do that right before it launches, it spikes super high. But to tease, we'll do this. We'll do this. This beer doesn't come out for another couple of weeks. We don't even have the cans yet in hand. So I think there's different stages when it comes to that.
Okay, cool.
Any questions, guys?
Anybody else? People are getting thirsty, I can tell.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm getting thirsty.
So you are mostly in charge of creating, well, in this case, you're creating the content for the Instagram. Are you also writing the captions below it, or is someone else doing that?
Great question.
That is a great question. I try to so there's two people that are actually in charge of the caption. It would be the content specialist, which is actually the person who actually takes all these photos when she's in-house and not out of town. She'll bring that the caption to life, reflecting on the imagery I give her. So let's say, because I gave her this this double slide imagery, and then she wrote the caption to it.
Nice.
And then the other person would be my boss, head of marketing. He basically finalizes. He'll change a little bit here and there just to see what the driver is on getting that beer to sell.
Cool.
Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Perfect.
Cool.
And how often have you maybe put your own 2 cents in copy wise, and it's obviously made it like it's almost like a collaborative effort. There might be one person in charge, but everyone gets a say at this sometimes, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, to give you a little perspective, the brewery is a boutique brewery. I mean, they're going on 12 years, but we release 160 beers a year, and that's we're a small brewery. Let's say my previous employer, Stone, they'll make 200 beers a year, but they're the 9th largest brewery in the nation. So, and there's only 4 of us in marketing at the brewery, and so it's very collaborative. I don't always have the right design aspect. Someone will help me. We'll bounce ideas off each other. We'll marry 2 ideas together, and I think, especially on a small team. Granted, we're a small brewery, but we have a big presence. Like breweries known worldwide.
What would you say is the number one advantage of the current work situation you have, where it's a smaller team, maybe same volume as some bigger places, when it comes to it? It's not like you're doing small volumes, but what's that advantage of the current situation where you're at, where it's like a small collaborative team?
Less cooks in the kitchen, less sign-offs.
There you go.
There would be times at Stone where I would need 12 signatures on something, where I only need 4 or 5 on what I do now.
Yeah.
So I think that, and expediting that process is crucial.
Gotcha. Yeah. And how often are they posting? Like breweries, I know right now it's a different story, but on a typical, let's call it day, is it a daily thing at least?
We try to go daily, if not like 5 on the low end, 5 times a week for the brewery. And little sidebar, I guess you could say sister brand, or like an offshoot of it, is Offshoot Beer Co., which is our hoppy beers. So, relax, retreat, unwind. We try to do that 4 to 6 times a week, because obviously their audience is a little bit smaller. Brewery's been known for a much longer time, but it all depends on the audience and our engagement window as well. Okay, who's ready to get an assignment?
Yeah.
A cool assignment. An assignment you get to design for beer. I never thought
Naric's like, I'm ready.
I would never thought my career would be wrapped around an alcoholic beverage, but it is. So with I think they already have the link, right?
Yeah. So you all got a link to download your zip file, which has all the assets that Alex has supplied. Yep.
So I was just briefly mentioning Offshoot Beer Co. is an endorsed brand by the brewery. It still comes out of the same doors. It's still us making it, just a different name. It's kind of like GMC, Chevy, kind of. I don't know if that's a good example. That's not a good example.
But I think Offshoot's the perfect name for it, you know?
Yeah, totally. And so the Offshoot's like, you know, to give you a little background on this, on the brand, it's California born, California driven, bright, illustrative. You know, you can tell by the relaxed can here, which is our main flagship beer. It's fun, it's playful, it's not like brewery, you know, even with this social post, dark, moody, kind of pinkies up, which that's not an Offshoot. Offshoot's, you know, just have some fun, drink some good beer, you know. But so we're gonna be making a social graphic for this. It's actually perfect timing. This message will be, it's a great time to relax, even with all the chaos going around right now. We're trying to just remind people like, hey, everything's going pretty crazy right now, but every time, you know, just grab a relax and just try to relax. So
a good question before you get into it. Obviously you guys feel like you've had to pivot in your messaging, let's call it, in social media and everything else, ever since the last 2 weeks, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like, that's one of those hurdles no one could ever really like predict is coming. And it's really interesting. Like, have you guys noticed every commercial now on TV is literally related to the current situation? Whereas, you know, maybe a week ago, there was only one or two. But now everyone's answering this call, and you can imagine the design studios and the production houses and the copywriters that are actively. So, you know, sometimes it's good to see how our role is not obsolete when something like this happens, you know? So I just wanted to plug that in there because every company's doing this and has to kind of change a little bit to be more relevant.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. Go and Offshoot is definitely one of those ones that's kind of taken a hit. You know, we're still doing what we can, but you know, like I said, we can only get so creative. Just trying to remind our fans and consumers like, hey, it's a great time to relax, grab a relax, and try to, you know, just escape a little bit.
Okay.
So a little assignment brief. The product name is Relax Hazy IPA. It's a great time to relax is the message. Sub message, it's just a hazy IPA, as in, you know, there's a shark on the packaging. We're not trying to scare people or anything. It's, you know, all playful, all good terms. You pick the style. So when I say you pick the style, let's do, you know, you could either do mixed.
Yep.
You could either do photography, or you could do graphic and text overlay, which actually, now that I'm remembering, I didn't actually add any photography of the beer into the link file. I'll send you guys some photography.
Did you include this image of the rendering?
Yeah, so you guys have renderings.
Yeah. Cool.
You guys have both the single and the 4-pack.
Great.
And
that might be good enough. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the flat AI file of what I actually sent to print.
Great.
Deliverables, just a 5x5 JPEG and RGB, 300 DPI, and bonus, you don't have to, but we like hand lettering.
There's a hint. When the art director's telling you that, you listen.
It's, like I said, it's playful. Offshoot is very, very, you know, bright, inviting. We like hand lettering. I actually haven't used hand lettering on the Offshoot side. I've tried it on the brewery side. It's a lot harder to get approved, but Offshoot's one of those ones where if there's a time, Offshoot is the way to use hand lettering.
Cool. So yeah, so guys, you're producing, here's some great examples of some other ones he's done. So you're producing a square format Instagram post with this creative brief. You can take it and make 3 or 4 slides. You can try to get it all in one, whatever you want to do, right? So it's the social media post with that headline. And the idea here is to and I think it's a perfect opportunity to even think of this time and how to change your messaging and not make it look like a full-on party. It's all about, hey, we all need to relax at this time. We all need to kind of have a little, you know, peaceful moment. This could be a really great, calming, fun thing to do. You know what I mean? By having it on there. So that's kind of the goal with this one for sure. So you're making the post, and then you can do it in any of the formats that Alex has kind of shown. I would really suggest, you know, I know we're saying 30 minutes, but let's be honest. Some of you probably do more. I don't care. If you want, if that means you're doing a 3-panel like this, do it.
If you could do a 3-panel and just tell the story from start to finish, we might even use it.
There you go. There's your incentive.
I actually really want to use some of your guys' work on the Offshoot Instagram channel.
And I think that's the whole upswing on this one, is that's what Alex has kind of talked to his group about. So they will use that if it makes the cut, let's call it.
So.
And they'll get credited on it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Some examples I've done
cheating.
for the Offshoot side. No cheating.
No cheating. Guys, look, I know we're giving you the 30 minutes thing, but like, honestly, at this point, I'd rather you guys, like, if you have the time, we're going to give you like at least maybe even a week. I don't want you to rush this. It's something fun to do while we have this time, in addition to everything else. I don't want to pressure you into it, but like, do something fun, enjoy it, spend a little extra time on it if you need to. Okay.
For sure. Cool. So here's some examples I've done for the Offshoot brand, not brewery. So recently, here's just graphic and text overlay, kind of like the one we did for the brewery, but with the fonts from Offshoot. Offshoot has a certain look and feel. That means Offshoot has its own fonts. Brewery has a different look and feel. They have their own fonts.
Cool.
Here's one I actually used Dimension for the first time. This middle graphic right here, I've never used Dimension before. That was me messing around with that. I know you guys are kind of in the process of learning it. Bonus, if you guys want to, go crazy, you have the flat layer label, working label. So
nice.
If you want to, push it. Here's actually something I kind of blended. So Val, our content specialist, she took this photo on a sweep, and then I actually photoshopped an palm tree leaf over it. And fun fact, I know you guys had Joshua Riza. He actually designed this can.
That's right. Yeah.
I got to art direct him on his first beer label. I always like making fun of him.
Get that in the live feed.
And he hates IPAs.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's that multi-image mixed one. Obviously, the little white gaps are a little bit thicker here just because of layout. But so here's the full can showcasing the full label of the entire front, side, back of the label, bringing out some assets from the actual design, transitioning it over into a label. Here's our collaboration partners in this beer, and then just one more saying, hey, it's available for 1 at 10.
Cool. And they can make all that up if need be. One person's asking me about the color palette, and yeah, so I think this is a perfect example where you have right now. So you can see the color palette of that can, bottom left corner, had that olive green, the rust red. So he used that color palette to enhance and bring out the value of everything in the post. But your relax one is your color palette. Correct.
And since you have the outlined AI file, you have CMYK, RGB, and Pantones of the blue, the yellow, this little guy.
Excellent.
You could pull this guy out. You could pull the pattern out from the whale shark.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's all on you guys.
You have the assets. You got everything to work with, for sure.
You have the Offshoot logo, everything.
Cool.
You just don't have working fonts, which obviously I don't think you would need. I mean, you have the font, you have the Objective and Mr. Alex. Ironically, the font is named Mr. Alex. In the files that Nick and I provided for you.
Perfect. So yes, you're designing the post from scratch. The can is given to you as the set piece. That is the one thing don't mess with. It's you getting to have to do the post for it, if that makes sense. Okay. So yes, you have all the elements in there to mess around with it. This is truly exactly how you'd be getting projects from your senior designer, your junior art director, or whoever in your first few jobs. So that's why we're kind of giving you this way. You can obviously check in with me anytime when you're on it, but the idea is to kind of let yourself loose, have fun with this one, come back with some assets, and we'll see how we do.
Hey, I'm reading someone's cheating. Don't cheat.
Yeah, no cheating. Any questions either on this or for Alex in particular? Anything specific you guys want to ask? We'll take a few minutes now and do it before we get into our next steps. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm an open book.
Go for it.
And if you don't have questions here, let me know.
Elliot over here.
There you go.
So do we kind of do a theme that's around the theme from the beer can?
Correct. I would reflect on the kind of the lifestyle of offshoot and relax, with everything crazy going around, make it fun, make it playful. I think just the message is like, it's just a good time to relax. Like I said in the previous, it's a great time to relax.
Yeah.
Present that, make it fun, and get creative with it.
I think this is also where you got to let your interpretation of what you're given obviously shine, but always too, in this situation, I always like to say, don't just take a brief and run. If you have the opportunity to ask the questions to the person who gave it to you, always do, right? So so if anybody has a specific question that they're not clear of, now's the perfect time to ask. If there's, just like that. So here's a lot of your content. Great kind of, you look at the assets, you got all that stuff to mess around with and play. You know what I mean? Okay. Anybody else?
I have a question. Oh,
Go for it.
Go,
William.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Guys are so
well,
polite.
this is kind of separate from the assignment. So
Sure.
when you typically get an assignment like this from your art director or your manager or whatever, you get usually just like a 30-minute time period to do all this, or is this like produced in like, let's say a week, or is it a couple days?
Are you talking about the social media graphic or the beer?
Yeah, the social media graphics.
I mean, I did this one in about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Mind you, I had everything already. So like I had the asset of this photo. This can was already designed. I pulled it out of the AI file. So that's why I brought this pattern in. I had everything. So it's quicker if I have all the assets, which you guys do. Like we had mentioned before, it could be a 30-minute, but if you want to, pull some time out, have fun with it, go right ahead. But this was, even though this is a 3-slide, I had all the photos, this label I already designed. We took that photo right before I got the initial like story here. So, I mean, if the more assets you have and the less you have to wait on other people giving you those assets, it would be a lot quicker.
Can you speak to maybe how you guys set up maybe more of a system so it's not such a surprise? Like you can't live every day with 16 things being dropped on you saying, do this in 30 minutes. So like, do you guys have maybe a planned schedule with this so maybe even days in advance when stuff's due?
Correct. So we actually have a beer release planner, all the asset planners. So, typically we get briefed on the beer. So like, let's use this one, Sticky Chunk. It's an Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with marshmallow cacao and almonds. So it's basically a Rocky Road stout.
It's basically delicious is what it is.
This beer has been sitting in this barrel that's the founder and brewmaster of Microphone Brewing. It's been sitting in that barrel for close to 2 years. So we knew it was on the schedule for this year because we want to release it before the 3rd year. I was given a beer brief or a product brief as in, hey, it's a Rocky Road edition. This is, the ABV. This is the collaboration or the collaborator we're using it with. Here's the romance copy, which is on the other side of the can, which you can't see in the rendering, which is basically just talking, basically trying to sell the beer. If you're, beer labels have romance on it or, romantic copy on it. So I had that pretty much all set in stone. The label was already done, but I did this graphic last Thursday. We launched the graphic on Instagram, I believe Friday.
Cool.
So
there's planning always most of the time, but emergencies do come up. But I just don't want you guys to think like he's sitting there just waiting for stuff to be dropped in 30 minutes. It's like,
oh no, for a brewery that does over 160 beers, I'm the only designer.
Yeah.
So
you better know in advance.
Yeah. And there is some times where I actually get stuff dropped onto me, and sure. I would be like, hey, I would love a longer heads up or something. And, I know what cards to play and everything, but, just as we expect certain things from other people, they should expect, you know, certain timelines and time frames from a designer, meaning your guys' self.
Cool.
So it's all, you know, give and take, and, you know, and everything like that.
Okay, cool. Who had the next question? Was it William?
Hey, how did you get into this industry?
That's a funny, actually great question, but funny story. My first sip of beer, I hated it. I mean, it was no craft beer. It was not good at all. I got into beer. My roommate in college was kind of getting into beer. My first craft beer ever was Hangar 24 Orange Wheat. As we know, that obviously not the pinnacle of craft beers now, but at that time it was something I knew I had never tasted before. And then I kept drinking different beers. You know, I would never try to go to the same beer more than once. And then I started picking up a lot of Stone Brewing down in Escondido, you know, with the gargoyle and everything. And I actually found out that they were looking for a entry-level designer, and I applied 2 months after design school, and I got the gig. So I got super passionate about it. I kind of was known in my group of friends and fellow designers as he's the guy who designs beer labels, and it just kept going bigger and bigger. And mind you, when I was at Stone, I was a member. So the brewery does memberships, kind of like wine clubs. We actually have the most successful beer membership in the world. I was a member at the brewery while I was working at Stone, and brewery, hands down, is still my favorite brewery of all time. Beer is phenomenal. The ethos of the company, the culture of the company, hands down, one of the best I've ever been around.
That's cool. Always an added value. For sure.
Yes.
When the culture of the place is great and they appreciate good creative. I mean, really, when you think about it, these brands that we get to work on sometimes, without all that design and the work we do as designers, who are they? You know what I mean? I mean, when we think of the brand, we think of the visualization of all this stuff. So like, that's why a lot of times too, some of these brands that really appreciate and take care of the designers, those are the ultimate jobs and positions I wish you guys get, 100%. That's totally. Always it. Any other questions from you guys? We good? All right. Good to go. So we'll swap over to my screen. You ready? All right, cool.
Thanks, guys. I hope that was kind of informative and kind of fun to look at.
Perfect, man. You're going to stick around for a little critiquing?
Yeah, I'm always here.
Nice. All right, so let's get this over here. Let me swap some screens. Cool. All right. Hey, where's my pictures? Nar, if you want to talk a little bit about your LinkedIn post today, I'd love for you to share what you did and a little bit about it, and maybe even some of the reaction you got.
Should I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it. I'll do that while I get ready. Perfect.
Okay, I'm not allowed because you're the host.
You could take me off. I'm done sharing.
Yeah, you're already off, dude. I'm just kidding. Let's see. So I gotta take you. Let's see. Rename. Make host. There we go. Okay, so make co-host. There we go. All right, go for it.
Okay.
And who did you do it with? Anybody from our class?
No, I actually did it with someone from FITM.
Great, awesome.
Yeah, which was different, and he actually enjoyed that challenge too, which was
cool.
Great. Okay, open system. Okay, why is it not letting me?
Did it work?
It's saying.
You could pick your screen or your window. If you have like the LinkedIn window of a browser, it should allow you to choose that.
It's saying something about privacy, but anyway, I can just explain it.
Sure.
It was. I found this website called sharpen.design.
Okay.
And it basically just comes up with an idea, just like it gives you a quick brief of what to design. You can choose between branding, marketing, or UX UI. So there are 3 different options where you can choose from. So I obviously chose branding, and it gave me the option to make a tote bag for Nissan. And I automatically thought about auto shows just in LA. Usually that comes around and you get those little bags. And the ones that I collected are very, very simple. Sometimes they don't even have anything on them. So I wanted to make something that was fun, but also like played with their color scheme and just overall shapes and stuff. Yeah, there it is.
There
Thank
it is.
you.
I got it. Cool. So you just went ahead and you got it kind of randomized something for you, and you put together a tote bag for Nissan.
Yep, pretty much. And then I just made those Instagram posts that you guys were talking about. So I have that, and I just was like, I made that very quickly. And yeah, those are like some of the slides for Instagram. But yeah, it was really fun. And
that's great. And look at this. You get instant feedback from professionals. So again, like this is always just great to just mess around with and try. I'm assuming too, it's just fun to throw in a fun little side project in addition to everything else you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for sharing it.
Oh, sure. Yep. That's the agreement. You guys post anything on LinkedIn and I will share it. So good job. That's really cool. Really cool. Are you going to do another one?
Yeah, maybe this weekend. Just
all right.
Generate another one and see what happens.
Nice. All right.
Well, I love how really quick. I love how you show both the flat design and the renderings, and what it can look like.
Yeah.
Working with clients, some people aren't visual, and showing that what it could look like always sells it a lot harder. And that's something I kind of try to even do in my own work. Whether it's in-house at the brewery or my freelance work, showing the client what it can look like always makes it 100% better.
Yeah.
So good job on that.
Thank you.
And it's funny too. I think a lot of times I don't even want to show them flat stuff anymore when it comes to like just flat graphics. 9 times out of 10, they go, I can't visualize. I don't know what that is. So doing it that way. And that's why this project is, our current project is exactly that. We're in that stage of taking everything from the flat and taking it into some dimension regardless of what you guys are using. So, all right, you guys ready to roll into this? And you guys can't see each other's work when you post it online, right? So this is the first time you're seeing everybody's?
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice. All right, man. William, you're up. Looks good, man.
Yeah, so as mentioned last week, Absolute Splash is all about making obviously a splash and incorporating some of the colors from their flavors. So citron, blueberries, and whatever. I think they have grapefruit or something. But instead of incorporating just the colors, I took Christine kind of suggested to play with cocktails instead.
Yeah.
So the one on the right is actually a facial scrub called a cosmetologist scrub.
Okay.
So like the Cosmo cocktail. The middle one's a lemon drop. And then the one on the left actually just plays with all the different colors because it's an eyeshadow palette.
Cool.
So, and then the graphic itself, it's kind of an abstract cocktail. So if you look at the orange, like little swirly thing on the right hand side, that's actually like, no, like on the actual packaging.
Yes.
Like on the one on the right.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that drink, the Cosmo is like a kind of like a pink drink. Usually comes with an orange twist and a splash of lime. So I'm kind of adding the ingredients to the packaging as well.
Nice. All right, cool. What do you guys think of the composition? I know we know how the individuals look, but what do you guys think of the combination of everything together?
I'd put a little bit more space between each product.
A little bit, huh? Just in the arrangement, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's tough too, because like, I think you want to have that cluster, and I'm assuming too, you're going to show these 3 individually, right? As you have them separately to show individually, which is great.
I do, but I didn't send them to you that way.
Oh no, I know. But like, so like
yeah.
You could take, so one thing I've been learning too is like, if you build all your assets in one master file first on Dimension, then because you can't copy and paste, like you can't just copy that bottle and then make a new file and paste it. It won't do that because the lighting and all the other things are already set to that file. So what I do is do like what you're doing, have them all on one file, and then do a save as, and then delete the other two. Do a save as from the original and delete those other two. You see what I mean? And you build individual files too, because it'll be great to see these solo with no splash, no nothing, right? Just so you have the solo piece. And then you have your composite like this, which gets them all together.
Yeah, composing the final image. You could build on top of each other, almost like a layer cake.
Yeah. How did you? And also too, the splash might work cool as if you do it in the transparent rather than the opaque. So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That might help the focus more on the products, and they won't compete too much with that opaqueness. But I'm glad to see you tried it, because they're a little funky, aren't they? When you get them on screen, you're trying to like. Yeah. They're all on different axes, so it's like it's kind of out there. But did you think you'd be doing something like this, a few weeks ago?
No, it's actually pretty fun. It's definitely hard to work with though, because like if you're using glass as your thing,
yes.
I created a second layer so you can kind of tell that there's a outside part and inside part.
Yeah.
But the hard thing is that the outside one, the opacity has to obviously be really, really low.
Gotcha.
So, but that layer is the one that has the graphics, because you can't add the graphics to what's inside. So you have to kind of play with that.
Great fix though, dude. I mean, just knowing that what you described, I know that's something that you had to do and figure it out. So it's definitely working for sure. Looks cool.
And I know last time people mentioned that the script itself was a little hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like one of the closest ones that I found that's close to Absolute's script. Unfortunately, theirs is like a private, custom made one.
Yeah.
But I was looking at their label or their packaging, and I've concluded that the reason that they do it is because it adds to the overall graphic. So even though it is kind of hard to read, I don't think that they have an issue with that on their packaging, and it's just kind of a brand thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just went with it.
I'm cool with you doing that. I think, again, once you show these solos, so we see the clarity and everything, and they're not competing against anything else, this could be, and then this is your end. This is like your wow image at the end. Like, so don't just think you guys are doing one composite here. Like you could take these models and make as many different arrangements, solo pieces, whatever, different backgrounds, maybe one's against black, one's against white. Have fun with these, because once you build them, you can do anything you want to these. So I think this will be
actually going to add.
Yeah, I think this will be fun to have as your fun, like, total end shot with everything, but try those solo ones too, just so they're really clear. And then you can do those real close-ups, zoom-ups of the more script font, just to show how clear it is in the way you crop certain images.
Okay.
Yeah, doing a detail highlight shot is actually really cool. And it not only the deliverables of presenting your entire project, but let's say you do go to social media, since today's topic was social media, small little detail shots, teasing the final product is always kind of cool on telling that story. But Nick had kind of mentioned or hit it a little bit, but I think another way to make this, dynamic, abstract splash pop even more, instead of it actually having it on a white sweep, grab one of those colors like the green, pink, or yellow, go a darker, contrasting saturation or hue of that color, and just flood that in the back and make the entire product pop even more.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay.
Will that mess with your transparency thing on your glass?
No, because the glass
Good.
is just right over the other objects.
Cool. Okay. Good to know, man. Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. Thank
Cool,
you.
man. Is this the rendering? Did you go through the render process, or is it? Yeah.
Yes.
I knew from the laugh.
My computer hates you.
Don't worry. Every time I turn mine on, I walk away because I start hearing the fans go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to be there when it blows up.
Yeah, me either.
I was telling the group that I did a render earlier, and I didn't realize that it had, for some reason, it was cropping the image,
Oh,
and I don't know
interesting.
why. And I walked away for like 30 minutes, came back, and it was like rendered, but it was completely cropped.
Oh,
So I had to do it again. Like I closed
gotcha.
it and then figured it out.
I hear you. But it's worth it, dude.
So-
It looks good.
Yeah, thank you. I just kind of want to read like if there's any other suggestions.
Oh yeah. Anybody? Let's see. I think there was some
More
talk about
focused. Yeah.
I think that pop of color instead of a white sweep will definitely translate. It's like adding tint to your car.
Mhm.
You can literally have the same car and you tint your windows. It looks like a whole new car.
there you go.
Right.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's go to the next one here. All right, Jacob, do you got yours?
No, it wasn't finished rendering yet.
If you want to, like I mentioned to Jose, he emailed me. If it's still the rendering thing, try doing the lower setting in the when you get to rendering options, just so you can see. Because I know if it's holding up your computer. Try the low setting and just a PNG, not the PSD, because the PSD is building layers.
Oh yeah.
Give it a shot and see if it's helpful. If not, just at this moment, screen cap even just the design phase, the non-rendered one, we'll still get an idea of like what it looks like.
All right.
Okay.
You could also share the link, and it'll just pull up on a web browser.
Oh, that's right. It works. It's doing that now, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Try doing that.
Do a screen cap and email me, and then or put the link in here, and I'll click it. Okay. All right. Oh, sweet! Look at that.
Ooh.
That looks good. Looks really good. Did you
want
get
some
another
yogurt
one,
now.
Anna, or is it just this one?
Yeah, I have 2 in there.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. Jar and cosmetic. Sweet. Let's see. Damn, that looks so
Nice.
good. That looks really good.
Thanks.
Nice.
Are you happy with it?
I am, but there's just a few problems that I'm having, like at the top,
Yes.
like where the bars are. So you
Makes
can't
sense.
really see the type that I have, and also for the BlackBerry one, it was really hard for me to try to fit the bar in there.
So obviously, now that I see what you're doing, first of all, you would never put it there just because of those ridges, right?
Yeah.
So all you got to do is just find another spot for it. I think you can even maybe write it vertically right under Chobani, because you have that negative space right here, and maybe you write your collection name here. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's still gonna. It's not gonna take away from the design here. But these are just the logistics. Like, can't do anything there, can't do anything here. So just putting them in another spot is gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
That looks great. Looks really, really good. How's the comments going? It's great. Oh, jeez. You guys are getting funny.
And this was what I was kind of mentioning, having that pop of color, contrasting, see this teal with the red pops, even, getting to the point of, creating the shadows, like the other ones has that cast shadow. Little things like that always showcase a little bit better.
Looks really good.
Thank you.
Were these smart objects?
So these 2 right here, it's an actual like PSD. The other one was a dimension. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, really, really nice. It's amazing too, like how it does the shading is just so perfect on this app. It looks really good there. But these look just as good. Like I what's nice about it is I'm not seeing a disconnect between the two, and like maybe like you were saying, Alex, by putting it on the common background, what's nice about it is you're getting it's bridging these 2 different ways of doing it and making it look really similar. So really cool. Really cool. Any other questions, or you feel good?
I was having a problem with my dimensions one.
Yeah.
Putting in the ounces, like the text wouldn't allow me to put it inside. I don't know why it was doing that.
Oh, interesting. Like, were you just trying to drop it in like here? Like by
So it
itself?
was saying that it doesn't support the text or something like that.
So did you start it in Illustrator?
Yeah.
Put it in Library?
Yeah.
Create outlines of it first.
Oh, okay, create outlines, and then
it could be a font issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, embedded font. It probably is a licensing thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So create outlines, put it back into library, and see if it works on dimension.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Nice. One thing I would say on this one, just to play it safe, let me see, compared to these two. Yeah, I would say the red here on your cap,
Mm-hmm.
it feels very primary red, where most of their stuff has that kind of dusty kind of vibe. Maybe tone back the red a little bit, just to be more matching the red they're using.
Okay.
Then it's like spot on. Cool.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. Okay. Damn, looking good.
Nick,
Yes.
there's the waiting room.
Say again?
There's someone in the waiting room.
Doesn't show. I've got no one waiting. Let's see. Who was it? Because
It was Andilla.
Oh, I got her again. Oh wait, now she's back. Okay. There we are. Thanks, man. All right. You want to take it away, Christine?
Yeah.
Looks great. Go for it. I'm just
Thank you.
I'm just gonna get more light in here. Hold on.
It's my IKEA stuff. The only issue I had with dimensions is that when I drop stuff in, like you won't be able to see through this JPEG, but there's like random outlines, like very faint black outlines out of some of like the white stuff, like especially in the barcode area. Like you could kind of see that if you
In here?
Yeah.
Oh, here,
like,
right?
Yeah, you can't see because it's far away, but
I see
when
what you're
you get
saying.
closer, and then like the text also itself gets like a little pixelated.
Okay.
Even though I did render it high resolution. I don't know if it's just me, but I looked it up on Google too, and they said it's a problem with dimensions.
Yeah.
Like, app or something. But then I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's and Alex and I can probably attest to that. Like we're all still guinea pigs on this app. You know what I mean? Because it's still and they are putting out a lot of fixes on it very often. So what I would suggest, so like it looks like it worked good here, right? Like the UPCs were fine, but this is the one where it got a little funky, huh?
No, it's actually the yellow one in the back.
Oh,
that
this
has
one
that
was.
outline. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So
and then
go ahead.
And then the outlines on the instructional part didn't come through all the way for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Maybe broaden the stroke a little bit on here. So you're saying this your outline box is it's getting a little broken?
Yeah.
Also too, I think it could be this bag has a lot of wrinkles in it, that model. So what I would suggest is try pumping up the stroke and seeing if that helps. Because it looks like they got all the other art really nicely. This just might have been too thin. And then for this one, it's the UPC I sent you, right? It's just the Illustrator art, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder sometimes it's really weird. I've only seen this happen to me on like certain fonts, and that's when I turned it to outline and I was good. So being that this is just outline font, I'm not exactly sure what that could be. Let me look it up and see if I can find anything too.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's looking really good.
The only issue that I've had with, like you kind of mentioned, Nick, is that thin strokes don't always portray in dimension.
Yep.
As if you guys remember back in my presentation, I did that dimension thing with the two cans. The background of one of those cans had really thin strokes, so like a sunburst, and I actually had to thicken them manually, and then they would portray. And to me, literally forever.
Yeah.
So I could tell your frustration. I've lived it.
In that scenario, let's say you're actually working with a client. So in order to use that, like obviously you would have to thicken the strokes, but once you send those files out to the vector, do you give them like the original file?
I would actually I would expand the stroke.
Yeah.
So they would already have the thickened stroke. I try to do that.
Like you would never give them that box with a 4-point stroke on it. You would expand it or create it to path. That way it's locked, and if they mess with it, they can't change the stroke easily, and
it doesn't change.
Yeah. Or if they scale something, sometimes the stroke won't stay constrained. So always expand at the very end when you're sending it to the printer for things like that. Totally.
Good rule of thumb, whether it's a beer label, a business card, a logo, expand everything, because they'll have it the size of a business card, or sometimes they'll blow it up to the size of a billboard.
Yep. That's exactly it. AI art is expandable, so like, you know, it doesn't have resolution issues. So, but this is looking so good. I love the colors. It's really cool. It almost feels like, I mean, like, it almost feels like it could be like a kid's version. I know it's technically not, it's more family oriented, but like, I mean, you could always take this and make a duplicate in a totally different color palette, and it'd be like having 2 collections in one, you know?
Yeah. The only thing I see is on the left bag with the happy face. The I'm assuming that's the product name in the white below it. Really hard to read on white on yellow. Maybe even make it just the same blue, kind of like how you do on the back panel. But white on yellow is very tricky. I try to stay away from it, just because it's always super hard. There's not enough contrast.
It sucks too, because it's the only, like, she's trying to obviously keep it white on, if it works on the other 2, yellow's that one that it's always a problem with. But I think most designers will agree, like, if it means shifting it to another color to be readable, it's off the model you have, it's okay.
There's exceptions on little things like that.
Yeah.
The brewery does it all the time.
Yeah, and I love the wood grain you picked is perfect. It's just subtle. It's got that whitewash to it. It looks really, it's totally IKEA pine. I love it.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Dude, looks
Gotta
good.
catch them all.
Man, it's coming along great, man. How do you like it, Joe?
It's improved a lot. But,
dude, really nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is good. I love how the last one, the lid is up.
Yeah. Well, why not? Like, you can do it. That looks great. And it looks good. Like, maybe even just bring it down a little bit, maybe tilt it more, so it looks like it's just coming right off of the, you know, a little bit more. But I love how you did that. That's really cool. That looks good. Okay. Any problems, anything with dimension that's holding you back, or did you figure it out, everything come out okay?
It took a little while to learn how to use it, because the positioning was all wacky to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man, it looks,
I learned it.
I think as far as that part, it looks great. I think it's just movement changing and like kind of getting some adjustments there. My first thing I saw was like, just make sure you got to get the red, or I'm sorry, you need a red line underneath original scent on the hand soap.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay.
Get that in there. Okay. On sunscreen, make sure that the artwork is centered in there perfectly. So do you see how the circle's a little off center? So get that nice and centered. Okay. Your other ones look pretty good there too. And then it's just that arc of I Choose You collection is a little more than the banner. Do you see that?
Okay.
So like get that to fit, just recreate it in Illustrator and make that part of a new library, and you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody have some comments? Let's see.
I would love this on a yellow sweep. Pull the yellow from the Pokemon logo and see what it looks like on a yellow, and make the Pokemon logo pop. Okay. Just little color additions like that when it comes to showcasing. White's so corporate and kind of cold and stale, but obviously your packaging is not.
Yeah.
So making that little transition makes a world difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does this really eliminate 99% of bacteria?
We all need some of that.
We all need that right now. The little lockup where you have pomade and ultra hold looks a little big for that space. I would maybe just like shrink that down a little bit, and then turn all that art so we see it a little bit more in the front. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, man. Really something. This came out cool. Anybody else? All good? All right. We're all buying it for the hand sanitizer.
Yes. I'm actually running low.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yes, it's coming along good. This looks great. Are you there?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so I put it onto bottles and I did the little icon things.
Yes.
What I was having trouble on was, I guess, the placement of the 2.4 ounce I wasn't sure exactly where to put that.
That looks, I think that's okay. You're picking bottom left, you know, which it's uniform. I'd say.
Okay, I didn't know if it was too close to the logo.
No, I think you're good. If anything, you can pop the logo up a little bit, you know, just as a whole other issue. Like I'd say the logo can come up just a tad bit, and then you're not so close to the 2.4.
Mm.
One thing too, guys, be consistent. Like I can't give you the rule of thumb, but when you build your pieces, like I would say most yours are probably equal value. Maybe the tube is like a little bit less, but have a number in there that feels relevant to the size of this thing you're making. So if one is extremely bigger than the other, don't have the same fluid ounce on there, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Looks really, really good. I think one thing I would say is like, you can increase the size of the interior picture on the face wash, just so it goes past, it'll fill the back, like on the right side, and it'll fill the top a little bit. Does that make sense?
Okay, and then and then for conditioner, the NER kind of gets like washed out with the white background.
Let's see. Let's see. A few things you can add a little drop shadow to it if you want.
Would that have to be consistent with every other?
Yes. And that it could help all three of them really, specifically yellow and the tan. The green's probably okay, but yeah, you would do it to all three. And you could do it in the Illustrator asset, resave it to library, and then it should work.
Okay.
Also, too, if you guys are trying this is kind of, I'm going to film a video either later tonight or tomorrow for the next steps of Dimension. I'll try to throw it in there, but if you just if you click on that graphic that's in there, the library image, let's say she double clicks on the Cozy Cottage conditioner, is that separate as its own?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. I kind of was working with either just bringing the whole thing in from library as a one group, or bringing in the assets separately.
So when you double click on it, you'll get edit the actual art, and it'll open up that artboard again in libraries from Illustrator. If you make a change to it and save it, and you go back to Dimension, it will update it. So it's like you don't have to like replace it, which is kind of cool. So I'll try to put that into the video when I do it, because it's a really good shortcut. You don't have to reposition anything or re-import it, which is kind of cool.
Another thing I'm seeing is on the yellow and the tan, the conditioner and the face wash, the white opaque, lower opacity white behind the Home Away Anywhere collection is very prominent, but the one on the shampoo is not. And that could just be the green kind of messing with it, or it could just be a lower opacity. Even if you manipulate it to make it look the same, and it's not even the same percentage, I think that's always a good call to make it uniform across the board. But other than that, it looks really good.
So this one,
I actually just copied the one and I placed him. So they are a copy of each other, and I'm not sure if it's just like the lighting or that I did on Dimension or something.
It's also the green's probably so much darker that it's not a showing.
The green is definitely messing with it.
So get that up. Maybe do this one separately and with more opacity, or less opacity actually.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions from you? Feel good?
Yeah.
It's great. These first attempts that you guys are doing are awesome. It's looking good.
Way better than my first attempt. I will tell you that.
Johnny, where you at?
Nick.
Did you email me anything, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, could I wait on that?
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
You got it. All right. All right.
I did email you on the updated version of it, but I didn't get any rendering on it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just send it to me directly. That way I'll know when I get it.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right, cool. Jose.
Yo, what up? What up?
You there?
Yeah.
I love
you guys hear me?
Yeah, I didn't even know it does this. It gives me a big late button, but you weren't late. We know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Dude, my computer was lagging to render.
No, this looks great, dude. What do you guys think? It's looking cool. Yeah, everyone likes it. It looks good.
Very on brand
It's
with
a
Red
really
Bull.
smart background. for this.
Yeah. So I was struggling because so we have a chat on Instagram, but I was asking him what should I do for my background.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do just like I don't know if you remember when I did it before. I had like a bathroom sink.
Yes.
I was just like I'm just gonna switch it up and do something like funny,
Yeah.
So I think their cartoons make a lot of sense.
This is like one great. You could do it so many different ways. I think one clean one with all together and like lined up, obviously look good. This is like your playful one. This is the one that you're having a little fun with. It totally matches the vibe of like the illustration that they use in the commercials.
Right.
Which is really, really cool. But one thing I just like to see these together, maybe in a really cool thing where you put like the green one in the middle and the red one to one side, the blue one to one side, and do like a low perspective looking up at them. That would once you have these made, you can do 1,000 different, arrangements. But I think this is the fun one. I think you need that one that really shows off and gets in a little bit closer so we can see all the details. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So also I did the aluminum thing, like kind of like the shiny part. I think you could see it on the green bottle.
Right
but
here,
since it's like it's low render, it didn't show as much. And then I did it on these as well, but I think the shadow kind of got on the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
You can see it on the green one.
Yeah.
The other ones is harder to tell.
Yep. So again, like when you get that one that's like where you get them all close together and you're just doing a nice arrangement of like a cluster of them,
right.
Get it a bigger crop. And I'm sure with lighting, we'll probably see all those little added things there,
Correct. Gotcha.
Cool, man. Yeah, it looks great. It's just so neat how it does all these little highlights, man. It looks so real and official. It's awesome.
Right. And that's like low render. So I'm pretty sure even on the high render, it'll be better once my computer starts.
Yeah, and I think
as hard.
That's why I wanted you guys to do your pixels at the beginning when you do a brand new document, because now when you do the low one, you're still going to get something good, which
Correct.
is okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, man. Okay, Christina, were you able to join us? Are you here? Because I know you emailed. I think she had a family.
She didn't come.
Cool. Okay, she had a family thing. Okay, cool. So she started rendering, I believe, here. Gotcha. I wonder, she must have found that. Is that Illustrator? Is that I'm assuming she did it in Dimension. Cool. Well, she must have found a thing for that. That looks cool. Okay.
Those look cool.
Nice. So, all right, I'll get back to her on that. No problem there. Damn, girl. Looking good.
Chevron with Tech Run.
Yep. We all know that now. Are you there?
Yes.
Cool. Oh, yeah, I hear your birds. Your birds are going to become YouTube famous. You know that?
At least my mom isn't cleaning this time.
This looks good. So did you have a problem with the rendering, or did you just do a low one just to get it here?
Well, I felt like I had problems with because it kind of looks white, some of the packaging, but it's supposed to be that one light gray I had.
Okay.
So I'm not sure in terms of lighting or how I'm putting in the color.
Yeah.
And then I felt like for some of them, I felt like I had a tighter space than what I did when I was like illustrating it on Illustrator. So I might make the bottles whiter. I'm not too sure, but I felt like I had a very tight space to design around.
Gotcha. Okay. So one thing I would say is maybe because you have two collections, right? So I gang them up based on your collection, mixing them kind of like because they look different. You could do that as like maybe a one thing at the very end that shows them all, but try to have your adult collection together and then have your kids collection together.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then an appropriate background for each. So it'd be fun to do, whatever you think is a good background for each one. And then if you want with a clean background, you show the entire group in one great shot at the end, because as you're building the different scenarios. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it looks good. So just be careful with I would say when you look at maximize sunscreen, make sure it's, so let's see. Should it be maximizing sunscreen or should it be maximize sunscreen? Because you got it here as, but these are two different brands, right?
Yeah, it's those three are the kid ones, and then I threw in one adult one.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the updated version. So
Okay.
I wanted to like I kind of had trouble in terms of placing where the octave collection and the icon should be, or if I should even have an icon, which is the accelerating speed
Yeah.
on like the card.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just look at the kids ones. What I would just suggest is you still kind of have like 3 different vibes here. So this has got a 2-tone, right? This has got just white, and this has got white in a color. So
yeah, the sunscreen one I was gonna add some stuff in the bottom too.
okay, but you got to choose one of these to be your overall model. I would
art.
Right? Like, see, this one I dig because you got the 2 colors. This one I like too because you got the 2 colors. And then this one's just white. What of these 3? What do you think is the best of the one that you want to go forward with?
The 2 color ones.
The white and the green, or the blue and the yellow?
Probably.
What do you guys think? Anybody have some ideas? Yellow, so 2-tone or white and green? What do you think?
I think the white and green could be cool. It shows that clean aspect of what the product is, the sanitizing, the shampoo, you're cleaning something.
Yeah, the white does help there.
And the red and the green will pop off, or what the different colored cars you would have all across the line. Mm-hmm. Or you could keep all red, but change the green color to be a different color of the ground. I think that has some unity to it. And that could be correct me if I'm wrong, you have an adult collection and a kids collection, correct?
Yep. So this is one version of the adult one, but these 3 are from the kids. Anything with a car is the kids one.
Got it. Okay. I mean, I think the white and the green, I think, shows that clean aspect of something with the pop of color. That's just me.
And then you were saying too, like, so maybe it's the same little mountain hump at the bottom there in green, but it's in different colors on the other ones.
Correct. Kind of like how Target does the arrow in a different color.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So using this model, and then on this one you would do the same hump, but it would be in red, and then maybe this one it's in blue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And then expand on these guys too, like anything you're adding, like the bubbles that you're doing here, and maybe here you do a sun, right? Like you got a lot of extra space to play with, so have fun with them. Get those nice and big.
There's also a reason why the text might be kind of blurry-ish. I was having trouble with the text a lot.
You having what?
Trouble with the text. It kind of shows blurry-ish.
Okay. So make sure when you set it in Illustrator, you're doing them one obviously in the same color. It looks like this is like blue, and then it looks like this is black, and then you got this is in red, right?
Yeah.
So same color, same flush, same orientation. So if it's flush left, make sure they're all flush left, and then build them at a good size. So when you do bring them into Dimension, it's building off of a stronger file, if that makes sense. See how that works. Okay. Okay. Cool. It's looking really good. Really good. Okay. There we go. Jeep. Nice, dude. How you feeling on this one, man? Are you with us, Luis? I thought he was with us.
Yeah, this is I'm looking at something.
Oh, cool, man.
On the dimensions.
Gotcha. Cool. Any issues?
The top of it, the top of where
this guy, right?
No, not that one. The other 2, the ones on the sides.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you know how like you had to like place them in one by one on your YouTube video that you showed us.
Sure.
For some reason, when I was trying to hit the top, like close to it, it started bending the font.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I don't want. I wanted to keep it like how it was on the picture.
Okay.
Before it, and then I was like, well, let me just lower it down and just put everything green.
Okay.
From there to the top.
That's fine.
Because I'm not gonna fix that.
So don't forget, whatever you're bringing in, you can obviously edit that. So if you need to, if like on this section here, was the green by itself?
Yeah, everything was by itself. The colors, the text, and everything.
Okay. So like bringing in that green bar, if it's not enough, you heighten it in Illustrator and bring it back in. Yeah. So it looks like you figured it out. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So all I would say is just try to get a little bit more of the consistency. So like I would say instead of outlining things like, on your hand, I think we got rid of a lot of the outlines, right?
Yeah.
So on the sun and the grill here with the rocks, I would just get rid of the outlines.
Yeah.
And then
because in Illustrator, it was blending in for some reason.
Okay.
And so I just put the outlines so you can see the image because it wasn't for some reason.
Yeah. Give it another shot. See, go back to the Illustrator art. Yeah. Turn it off. So get rid of the green outline here. Yeah. Get rid of maybe instead of the sun being dark green here, maybe you make it a lighter shade. So when it comes in, there's a good contrast. And then the only thing I would say is like I like that you added this leaf in here. I would like just darken it so it's in the same tonal value of these guys.
Yeah, I put the same opacity of it.
Okay.
Because I checked how you did it.
Yeah.
And it was like one was 80 and the other one was 60, but the reason why they were different is because they match.
Lighting?
Yeah,
okay.
They match.
Gotcha.
Because those were darker, and I was like, well, if I darken it, they're gonna look all the same.
Cool. Okay. So like one thing I would suggest too is play with a simple background that's maybe if you can find something that's just like like cracked mud, where it looks like it's kind of been in the sun and you got the cracks in it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a cool kind of overall background that maybe goes further back, and then mess around with some different arrangements when you finish up everything. See how everything else looks.
You're talking about that for the background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was looking for right now.
Okay, cool.
I was looking for a background.
And I'll put that in the next video, like finding I find a lot of good stuff on like Unsplash or even some free stuff, and just find a good high resolution thing, bring it in there and mess around with it and see. So I think that'll help it, obviously giving it more appropriate background.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I need to add to it.
Cool.
Do you also have a tutorial of how to make Dimension recognize the background that you're using?
Yes, meaning like, you mean matching it?
Yeah, because I was also Googling like Adobe Dimension free backgrounds and stuff to see if there was like other ones I could download.
Yeah.
There really isn't stuff like that. That has
no one's making it like specifically like that'd be a great, hey, if anybody wants a business, that'd be a great one, because I haven't been able to find anybody producing them. I'm using what I can find best. It might take a little more searching, but if you find that one, and then I'll show you guys a few versions of when I bring something in, how I manipulate the art to look like that, if that makes sense.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Alex, you got to take off?
Yeah, I can do a couple of
All right.
a couple more critiques.
Cool.
I'm excited to see some more work.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Yogurtland, looking good.
Thank you.
This looks really good. Man, everybody's just coming along so nice. It's amazing when all of a sudden you start seeing the shading and everything. It looks so cool. This looks good.
Thank you. I had a few issues trying to wear the unlimited line.
Yes, gotcha.
For the tube and the dropper, it was easier to find the space for it, but not for the bottle.
Yeah.
Kind of like curving in a weird way instead
I gotcha.
of going like this.
Right here?
Yep.
And that's, it's very smart that Dimension does that, because if you do include art there to be printed in the real world, it will warp. You know what I mean? So it's good that it does that, because that's truly what would happen. So this is a really good way of not having that problem. I would say, what if you took unlimited? I think it might work here, but you can almost put it right under here, under Yogurtland, in this area right here to the right of the G.
Okay.
And I think it will work there. I know here and here it's going to be super tiny, but if if it works, give it a shot. That might be the best suggestion I would say of where to put it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. And the one thing I would say too is because you have such fun, busy things going on in the bottles, maybe the dot pattern might be too much in the background.
Yeah.
So either removing it completely or fading it back a lot. And then this is a good test too. I would say just to stay even, this looks like this powder blue should be more like a baby blue. And I think it'll match your backgrounds of these much better.
Okay, got it.
This looks a little pastel-y to me right here. And it'll help primer be a lot bigger too.
Okay.
A good way to make sure all the color saturations are the same. Let's say your favorite one, you like how the face mask that green pops. What I do is I write it down, the saturation number, whether in your Illustrator or Photoshop, wherever you're building out of. And let's say you do need that blue for the primer and the yellow for the moisturizer, and get that same saturation color for those colors, and it'll be the same across the board.
Cool.
Okay.
Good tip. Sweet. Yeah, it's looking really, really fun. And again, once you guys have these, man, get some really good, try some really zoomed in crops of the detail as secondary images, because building a case study on these is going to look really cool. Okay.
For that inspiration, that crop in, that close, a good studio that does it, I look up to them night and day, is Stranger and Stranger. They're a packaging firm. They'll do the overall shot like you have here, and then they'll do a super detailed up close shot.
Nice.
And telling that story of like, hey, you might not see it from that far away, but you zoom in, we have an embossed treatment, you have raised ink, stuff like that.
Nice. So it's Stranger and Stranger. Is that their website?
Yeah, their Instagram, Stranger & Stranger.
Sweet.
You just type in Stranger and Stranger design.
Perfect.
Also,
all right.
Before we move on, how I distributed the toppings in the back. Remember last time we were talking?
Yeah, it looks really good. That randomness we were trying to do, making them look, it looks really good.
Okay.
Because also you want to be consistent here. I don't think you want anything touching, the white text that you have, and you've done a nice job of kind of keeping clear of that.
Okay.
Again, here with that blue being pumped up, I think it's going to look really, really good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. Oh, on the that's great, man. Right on a Mustang. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, the emblem is to the side, so that's a 302 Boss Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with car dudes around, man. That looks really cool. Did you find this model somewhere?
Oh yeah, I found it on free3d.com.
I love it. So free3d.com. That's where you found it.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Did they have a lot of other good ones for
they do have it, but make sure the file is the object file, I think, and that's the only dimensions reads it.
This one here,
no other files cannot read it.
Is this it here?
Yeah, I found it there.
Nice. Let's see. Just curious. Oh my God, this is all free?
Some of them are free, and some of them are not object file.
Yeah.
So you just have to.
Wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
Bookmark. This goes into creative. Nice. All right. Cool. Good job. What do you guys think? Everybody cool? Any issues?
Really good.
Any issues?
Is that to the right of the hair wax? Is that a hood pin from the car?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was picture.
I think the when it comes to presenting it, I think that's actually taken away from the products. I know you're trying to portray the car, and we obviously know it's a car.
Yeah.
Maybe make it smaller, shift it into a different area, but I think it's actually taking away from the hair mat. Wax.
I would just take it because it could look like it almost looks like a mistake too, even though we know what it is.
It was a part of the background pictures, so I might have to go back to my Photoshop and then.
Yeah, just Photoshop it out if you can.
Yeah.
It looks like there's enough sampling here you can do. Get in your fluid ounces for sure, right?
Oh shoot! I spelled the thing wrong. My bad.
Oops.
You can just throw another C in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
You
looks
guys
cool.
CC.
Looks good. Anybody? Yeah, this looks great. I would say too, like maybe just darken the reds and the blues. Like I know your lighting is coming across a little vivid. Like maybe just to darken it just a bit to be a little more dramatic.
Right.
You know, because when we think of red Mustang, it's like that candy apple red, right? And it's like that really, really royal blue. I wonder too if there's a way to add that metallic kind of grit here in the colors. See if there's something. Maybe it's part of. Maybe it might be rebuilding everything, and don't worry about it. But
materials, maybe.
Yeah, it could be something in there. But I do like how you got that tire tread on the right on here. This looks great.
Thank you.
That looks really good. Okay. Also, too, the only thing I would say is because we're not seeing a lot of this side here, like all that detail here. Do another view, like another perspective where you've turned this, and I get to see that side too. Okay. Nice. Good job, man. Looks good.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Cool. That looks great. Oh, good. You got the ice cubes. Yeah, it looks really good. You got the colors still there, but the ice cubes are all blue.
Yes.
Good. And did you do a low res just for timing, or were you having any issues with the computer?
I think I don't know why it's low res. I think.
Did you make a good size for when you first made the document? Did you do it at like the bigger size?
No.
Okay. Don't worry. You can still go when you have nothing selected. Go to the file properties, and you'll have pixels for width and height and your resolution. So pump those up, and then what you'll do is your bottles are going to be really small in a document. You're just going to bring them up in scale. Okay. So that should help. And then you'll get all the richness in the pixel. There'll be no pixelation or anything. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. What do you guys think? So I think it's looking really, really clean. Any suggestions? Let's see. Yeah. Nice and clean. Loving this. I can see someone buying it. Yeah, definitely.
I would buy this.
I know. It's really cool. Question. The overall, the colors got a little bit softer, I feel. Like, are they, especially this color, the pink and the yellow, were there colors on the brand in anywhere, like the assets or the website that you pulled from here, or how close are these to their colors?
I think they're a little bit paler.
Yeah. So I would just get them a little bit more vivid, because it feels very pastel-y for them overall. I know you got reflection here that's making it a little bit lighter in this Duncan's area, but get those just a little bit more vivid, and I think you got it 100%.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, you're right. Play around with the splash stuff could work good. You can actually splash and fill it with coffee, which would be hilarious, but float some, make a pattern with the Duncan apostrophe, like in almost like in that sprinkle format, and that could be a fun background. Looks good. Okay.
Looks really good.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right. Did you get yours yet? Audi? Is he with us? Yo.
Nick?
Yes.
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Good. Did you get any renderings yet?
Actually was on the process of saving, but somehow it got freeze and something, so I lost it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
But if you give me like maybe 15 minutes, I can upload it.
Okay, let me know at the end. Okay.
Perfect. I'll do it.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to bail here pretty soon.
Oh, perfect, man. All right. Thanks. Tell everybody say thanks for Alex here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
brother.
can't wait to see what you guys come up with. If you guys have any question, please feel free to reach out. If I can make the process a little bit easier, DM me on Instagram or something, or even Twitter. My door's always open.
Cool. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it very much, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Have a
man.
good one.
Go have a beer.
Bye, guys.
See you, man. Okay. Maria, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. This looks good. It's coming along really nicely. Are you having any
you.
issues?
Yes.
Okay.
With dimension.
Gotcha. But this is your first try.
Like
It looks
this is
great.
I was having issues on how to save it, so I just took screenshots, and that's what I did.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see it clearly. And yeah, also you said that that we were not working on the backgrounds right now.
Yeah.
So I just like did one, but I didn't do the other ones yet. I don't know if that's okay.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
also I made a mistake with the first item, the first product.
This?
Yeah, it's supposed to say it's a foundation.
Cherry blossom. And cherry blossom.
The cherry blossom, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you got both of my versions because I uploaded two, but I think that you just got one just in case.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think this looks great. I think you're just go back to some of the things like this. To me looks really strong. It's probably just the reflection of it is watering out this whole area here.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, this one has the vibe. One thing I would say is if on this color, maybe change your logo to a lighter, to either the white or this cream color or something, just so it shows up a little bit more here. Okay.
Okay.
And then just manipulate and make sure everything has, you feel like the weight of everything feels the same. I think here, just seeing the seam here, so moving this artwork could help a little bit. So just do some finessing, okay?
Okay.
All right. And feel free to send me anything too, because like I know it's a little bit tough, but so far I think you got, for the first shot, it's looking really, really good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Any comments from you guys? Cool, everyone liking it. I know I gave you some colors. I would say on this one, my only fear would be like maybe lightening this background color. I know I gave you like something close to this, but do you see how much contrast there is between the burlap and this color, the burlap and this color?
Yeah.
So I think just getting a little bit more contrast, so lightening this would be perfect.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Good job.
Thanks. Thank you.
Oh, we got another late one here, but Narek. Cool, man. This looks good. What do you guys think? Waiting for the replies.
It's really good. Today when he showed us the final picture, the lid for the beard palm, the top of it, I was thinking it would be cool if you made it into a pizza shape, like cut it into like pieces, but I don't know. It was just an idea.
For this here?
Yeah.
The only thing is like, I think it's smart to keep him because you got such a big illustration of the character on these two that this one doesn't get it because of the size of it being small. This part here, right? Unless you get if you brought the guy in here, like cropped, move some of the artwork to the right and smaller, then you can experiment with that for sure. But I'm not worried about that. You know, I think you got he's such a big part of the graphic. It balances out the way you have it. I wonder if maybe this becomes black, the side.
Yeah, I noticed that afterwards because with the other two, so I'll do that. I'll put it like a black ribbon around.
Yeah, and this looks much better. Just having it all concise together. This looks great. And then the backgrounds are a little bit more faded back. The sparkle and the bubbles looks really good.
Yeah.
Cool. Any issues with the dimension, or no problem?
I don't know. It was my first time today, so
good.
But I know
you guys are pros.
Some of the alignment is off, but I figured that out later. But I don't it, so
cool. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. Yeah, I think just bringing a touch of that black in here will balance it out completely too. I just think if I saw this in a bathroom or somewhere, I would laugh my ass off. This is this is perfect. I love it because it's like now it's starting to see like these are the brands. They're not supposed to be on these kind of products, but you guys are all making them work, and that's really cool. Any other questions on this one? Feeling good? Okay. Oh, question.
I did the ounce thing.
Yes.
I put it in a box.
Yeah.
Some people said it's, I don't know. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it. I don't know. I wanted to know what you think about it.
I think it's a good solution, but on the flip side, it's too much priority for it, and it's such a small thing, you know? What I would suggest is, so you can, see this black line here? I would shorten it to about right there, and that'll give you a perfect space to put it right in the orange.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then you can do the same here. It's a little big for it, so you can make it smaller. That way you get to have the complete consistency of their trade dress. And I think it'd be perfect.
Okay.
All right? Cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, this looks great. Let me grab this. See, oh, sorry, guys. What did I do? Uh-oh, sneak peek. Let me try to get this a little bit bigger. Sorry, it's a little bit, how can I do
Okay,
this?
and I'm unmuting now.
Oh, cool. Let's
So we've
see.
got,
Oh, there we go.
I struggled with the sizing, and so, you know, as with everybody else, I'm really learning. And on the blue container, I really struggled with getting that diagonal.
Yes.
And it would move, and then it would kind of go off of the product. So it was
okay.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest for this little area here, go back to the AI file, and you're gonna see where this cuts short right here. You're gonna want to just stretch that and continue it even longer. Like go add another inch or two, even if you're adding more of the characters, no problem, because they'll probably get cropped out, but that will help this situation here. And then take this art, your M&Ms and the pretzel face wash, and slide it over to the left. If it's so, I'm assuming it's solo. It's a solo image, so move it so we see it more. And I think she'll balance that off really nicely.
Okay.
Good. But what do you guys think? It looks really good, huh? I love the chocolate color of the caps. That's great. That's really, really fun.
Thank you.
Cool. Yep. I need some M&Ms right now. All right, cool. Let's see. Now, can I get out of this? Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Sweet. That looks great, man.
Thank you.
Cool. Any issues?
Well, actually, this is a mock-up.
That's what I thought. I was telling, I could tell by the cap here. Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to try dimension though. It's just that my computer was really slow when I was initially trying it.
Okay.
So I do plan on doing the dimension route, but I just wanted to show this for now so that I can get idea of it.
Okay.
But with the color block area, I tried to put other elements there, but I just kind of felt like it looked too cluttered.
Yes.
Like the whole overall design. So I kind of think I just prefer it solid like that.
Okay.
I think it kind of works. But
well, what about, remember we were talking about doing the zigzag white up here?
Oh yeah.
That I think is gonna and you can even, because it has this crimping thing here, you can extend them down to like just below it, like right about here. So you'd have like you'd have your white here, or this little zigzag right below the crimping, and then all the crimping part is white.
Okay.
That would look perfect. Okay.
All right, I'll try that out for sure.
Cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, it's coming along good. This color really feels neat. It has that like fiery hot here, which is really great. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Or I love the dark brown stripes. That looks really cool. Good.
No. I do think actually though that I am gonna change since they're all the same like that squeeze bottle. I think I might play around with at least one of them to change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to have a little difference.
And I like the small, medium, large too. Just like having,
Yeah.
you know, it looks good. It'll be a good contrast. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Cool. Did you get yours into 3D yet?
Not yet. My computer crashed when it was doing it.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. But this is your revised layout that I don't think the class has seen, but you sent me this one, right?
right. Yeah.
Cool. Looks good. I think it's gonna. You got to get these into Dimension. I need to see them. It's gonna look so good. I love it. Yeah, everything looks great. I love the revisions. The colors feel perfect. It's got that ice cream vibe. Love it. Looks good.
you.
Any questions?
Um,
My mom would buy all of these.
so.
I think they look great. They look really, really cool.
Thank you.
All right, cool. I would say too, if you can find those perfect, like some of those backgrounds that kind of look like a blurred shop that kind of
Right,
would
like a
mimic. Yeah, that's gonna look
Yeah.
great. Cool. All right. Damn. Oh my goodness gracious. That looks awesome. Looks really, really good. Are you with us?
Yes.
There you are.
Thank you.
Man, looks really cool. How did you find, are these free ones that you found too? All these things?
Yeah, they're all from the side.
Which site did you use?
Oh, I meant the side, which is the one where we get our products from.
The free 3D one?
Yeah, the free one.
Perfect. It looks really, really good. It looks great. One thing I would say is just making sure, so like, let's go here. I'm just gonna look at the labels now, but I love the setup. Like the setup, that's perfect. Here, like get this illustration to crop the whole bottle. If you,
Yeah, I had a question about that because it has like a
the flare. Yeah.
So I was like, should I bring it down or just?
No, and I think it'll look right. It will shade it and it will kind of tweak it a little bit if you bring it there, but it feels incomplete because I'm not seeing it. So let it bleed here and all the way to here. So right, so you're gonna make it like this big, right there.
Okay.
That makes sense. And then you could do the same with this guy. Like make sure it's
I was so iffy. I just
here and this. Like
Yeah.
you put all that work into those illustrations, make them nice and big. Okay. You might even, this I think is okay, but what I would suggest you do is, like you have a top color on each of these, maybe you add a top color to this and bring your rainbows down.
Yeah, so like put a pink stripe.
Yes, another color. So like maybe the pink goes right to here, and then your rainbow logo can drop down and just like this.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and then here do the same. So maybe extend the rainbow to at least the green cap. Okay.
Oh.
Because my first thing I saw were all these little. The first thing I saw were all these white gaps.
Yep.
So fix all those, and I think it's looking really good.
Okay, so for the green one, don't bleed the green, but bleed the rainbow. You mean?
Yes, like because that's the cap, right? That's a lid.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bring green into here. Just extend the rainbow to the edge of the lid.
Okay, but for the pink squeeze tube, you want me to put the pink stripe on the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pink would be, so you have, this is like your lavender purple, right? This will be a pink, which will be like maybe like her hair. Is that the same color?
No.
Okay, so make sure they're different enough. So make sure this one's more purple and then this one's more pink, like bubble gum.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have fun doing this?
Yeah, it was my first time, so like I got addicted to like playing with everything. So yeah, it
gets a little wild. You're like, you might need to show people this because like as busy as this is, I'd say it's fine enough. But when you make another one, I would say just having all of your stuff on just this yellow plate and this red this magenta cube and get rid of everything else as a secondary one that's a little more zoomed in, right?
More simple. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good, like I said, start with one that has everything. You can always save this as a copy and delete one or two and delete other things and let it be a new arrangement.
Okay.
So like what I always do is like my first one, I always title whatever _ master. That way I know that one's got everything. And as I save as, I can make new ones.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Nice. I can't wait till you guys share this with the companies that you're doing it. That's going to be awesome. All right. Blanca, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Were you able to get anything 3D yet or not?
Not that one. I probably submitted the wrong one.
Let's see.
I'll.
Oh, do you want to email it to me?
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Deja, how we doing? Anything yet?
Yeah, I'm still working on rendering.
Okay.
Because it kept crashing my computer, but I'll just try again and just resend it, maybe through email.
Yeah. So anything from this point on, guys, like if I'm waiting for something for you, just email it to me. Okay.
Okay.
You could try uploading it, but I for some reason the last time we did it, it was like I don't know if there was a cutoff or something, but we'll double check. Okay. So email me.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice. What do you guys think? So fresh.
Cool. I think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. How any issues with Dimension for you, or are you feeling okay?
No, I struggled too this morning. Like it took so much time. I didn't know how to export, and then Nara helped me out, I guess.
Good. So did you change the settings before you rendered?
Yes.
And
I
did
checked the sizes and.
did that help? Was it a quicker time?
I mean, it took more than 1 hour.
Okay.
It takes a lot of time.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'm trying to think too, like, so when you go to the settings, did you do it in just PNG?
Yes.
Okay, and it still took a while, even though it was on fast and low?
Yes, I think it was on medium.
Okay, gotcha. Question, I think someone's talking about it too. On this one, it looks like you might have stretched or did something to it where it doesn't, like the cap got too wide that it almost feels like a different bottle.
Yeah.
So maybe do the one that has like the snap, you know, the flip up, like when you press down and the lid pops up.
Right.
So I think that'll help that look more like the shampoo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It did kind of look almost like a water bottle or a juice bottle or look, yeah. So make sure that, but other than that, are we guys happy with it? Definitely screams Baskin Robbins, 100%. Looks good. Cool. And again, when I'll do some tutorials about backgrounds, but getting the right background on this is going to make it look super cool. Okay. All right. Last one here. Yeah. Dude, that looks great.
Thank you.
Any issues or how did it go for you?
I don't think I had any issues so far.
Good. I think what I'm happy to see is the vibrancy of the colors is really working. Sam's getting a free 1-year subscription. If that's going to be my goal, I'm sending this directly to the Dimension guy. This looks good. You guys all, yep. Judging by the comments, everybody likes it. Let's see. I would just say it's just a matter of scaling. I think like this cosmetics here feels pretty tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if you want to, maybe this square can slightly move over here and do a line break so it's anti-aging, and then cream is 2 lines.
Oh, okay.
And then you can bring this down and increase the size of that. Okay.
All right.
Little things like that. This looks great. This looks really good. Cool. I love the colors, man. It really, really shines.
Thank you.
Sweet. I might even send this to him tonight. I'd love to see them post. This is great. It looks good. You were smart in picking Adobe, dude. Real quick too, I think the Adobe logo is a little tiny.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. But placement of it, everything else. Love the way the cloud is like randomly cropped. It looks really, really good. Cool.